Hello, mamas with gestational diabetes. I am super excited about today's video. Today we are talking bedtime snacks, and I have so much yummy food to show you guys. My husband was so excited. But as you know, having the right bedtime snack with gestational diabetes is critical to control your gestational diabetes. It can help you have a good fasting blood sugar in the morning, which is a really important factor to make sure that you can have a healthy sized baby when you deliver. If you're new to me, my name is Jessica Pumple. I am a registered dietitian and a certified diabetes and bariatric educator, and I work with moms who have gestational diabetes to help them have good blood sugars, healthy pregnancies, and healthy babies, as well as a baby that's a healthy size. This video is one of a series of videos that I'm doing about gestational diabetes, so you can check out the other videos in the playlist there, as well as to get updated when I release new videos on gestational diabetes. Make sure you subscribe and ding the bell to get notified every Wednesday when I release a new video. So today we are talking snacks, but I have a whole meal plan for good blood sugars in gestational diabetes. If you go down to the description box, you can grab the whole meal plan for free. Of course, this is general information only. Please refer back to your doctor or your diabetes center for individualized education on your gestational diabetes. And if you are on insulin, please don't just decrease your carbohydrate without matching up your insulin, or you could end up with a low blood sugar. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to mix and match the different foods here. What we're looking for in snacks, and especially in a nighttime snack, is we want to include some protein, some healthy fat, and some optional low glycemic index carbohydrates. So I've separated out into two sides here. So on this side here, we've got foods that almost contain no carbohydrate that really aren't going to increase your blood sugar a lot. And so we can add more of these if you're wanting to feel more full. The fat actually stimulates a hormone CCK, and when we have that hormone, it sends a signal up to our brain to help say that I'm full. So including healthy amounts of fat can really help with feeling full. On this side here, I have some low glycemic index carbohydrates that we're going to add up optionally to about 15, maximum 20 grams of carbohydrate before bed. And how to tell whether you should have the carbohydrate or more on the lower side of carbohydrate is to, one, test your blood sugars and see how it's going. So you need to test your blood sugar before your snack, and then ideally you could test 1 or 2 hours after your snack. You could test in the middle of the night to make sure that you're not going too low, as well as then probably the most important test is going to be in your fasting blood sugar in the morning. So sometimes women with gestational diabetes actually find that if they include a small amount of low glycemic index, so it's going to be absorbed slowly and increase your blood sugar slowly throughout the night. It's not going to be that spike from a high glycemic index food. Their morning blood sugar is actually better. So we get sugar from the foods that we eat, like the grains, fruits, milk, but also our liver puts out sugar. And if we're not getting quite enough in the middle of the night, or if we dip too low in the middle of the night, then our liver can put out sugar and we can have a higher blood sugar in the morning. So the best way to figure it out is to test your blood sugar and then also see what you feel satisfied with and what foods that you enjoy as well. So in this side here, I've got sort of 3 different types of foods. I've got the vegetables, which you can really just consider free. So I've got things like a salad, peppers, cucumber, the zucchini here. You could make something like zucchini parmesan chips, which would be delicious. The pickles, you've got snap peas. Avocado is going to be your best friend. That also sort of falls within the fat. Olives here. And then for the protein foods, you could have something like leftover chicken or meat. They have a tuna actually that is called Safe Elite Tuna, and it's tested for mercury levels. And so that's actually safe in pregnancy, as safe as having something like the lower mercury fish like salmon. Eggs are going to be an excellent source of protein as well. Here, you'll notice that I don't have any processed meats. So not only are processed meats not food safe or recommended in pregnancy, but they can also increase your risk if you have 50 grams of processed meat each day. Can increase your risk of cardiovascular disease by 42%. So these are veggie dogs. and I really like these ones, and they're very low in carbohydrate as well. These are actually tofu noodles, but you could also use something like they've got black bean noodles, they've got zoodles that you can make out of zucchini, but you could use something like this, and this is very low in carbohydrate as well. And cheese is also going to have protein. And for the fatty foods, we've got the nuts and seeds, which also have protein as well. You've got things like the hemp hearts here that you could put on top of foods. Cheese is going to have fat. You've got coconut milk. You could make coconut milk whipped cream, for example, or you could add it into a stir fry or something, as well as things like hummus. And I think those are the fatty foods there. Yeah. The other food that is over on this side is sweet drops, or you could pick a different brand of stevia. You can either get it in a powder or in drops, or I actually used to grow it in my garden and then dehydrate it, and you can put it. So it's a plant, it's safe in pregnancy, it is 0 calories, 0 carbohydrate, but it helps sweeten foods if you're craving something a little bit sweet for your pregnancy. So if we're aiming for about 90 to 150 grams of carbohydrate per day, and if you're wondering why we're aiming for that, I'm going to link to a video up there with the explanation as well as some healthy dinner recipes for gestational diabetes. But if we're aiming for that per day, then a snack would spread evenly throughout the day, end up being a maximum of 15 or 20 grams of carbohydrates. So the foods over here are going to be the low glycemic index carbohydrates that we want to be that sort of 15 to 20 grams of carbohydrate. So I've got one piece of sprouted bread, which is going to be about 15 grams, depending on the brand that you are having. You could have 2 little mandarin oranges. Strawberries, this is actually 2 cups of strawberries, which is quite a lot. 2 cups of strawberries is said to be about 15 grams of carbohydrate, but the most accurate way to measure it out is to use a weigh scale. And so especially if you are on insulin and matching up your carbohydrates to your insulin, it's going to be most accurate to use a scale. So I will put a plate on here and then tear it there and make sure it says 0. Okay, there we go. And then add the strawberries to that. And I know that the strawberries are 7.6 grams of carbohydrate per 100 grams. And I've measured out 200 grams of strawberries there. So you subtract 2 grams of fiber off for each 100 grams. So this is actually going to be a little bit less than 12 grams of net grams of carbohydrate, and that's actually quite a lot. And if you pair it with something over here or a few things over here, it would actually be a really filling and satisfying snack. Okay, so next we've got strawberries. Also is going to be about 2 cups of strawberries or raspberries. They're really high in fiber and they're delicious. A fruit about the size of my small fist. So a low glycemic index fruit about this size is going to be about 15 grams of carbohydrate. Marys are some of my favorite crackers. And so if you look on the label, it says for 13 crackers, it's 21 grams minus 3 grams of fiber. And so that's going to be 18. So I actually only put 12 crackers on the plate, and then you could pair this with anything over here. So if you wanted some cheese with that, some nuts, some hummus, some veggies, some olives, some pickles, you sort of mix and match however it seems enjoyable to you. 3 cups of air pop popcorn is going to be about 15 grams of carbohydrate. The other thing is so these are sort of on the lower carb noodles, but a half a cup of whole grain noodles is going to be about 15 grams of carbs. These are, so for a quarter of the package, these have 18 grams, but it's 12 grams of fiber, so 3 grams. So you can really have quite a large amount of this. It's kind of in between these two sides here. If you're looking for something quick, I do like the Amy's soups and chili. So this, for example, has, so for 1 cup, it has 35 grams of carbohydrate, but then you get to subtract 9 grams of fiber. So you might only want to have about half a cup, but still that, half a cup of chili is a pretty decent snack. We're not talking a meal here. And same thing with the soup. Usually about a cup of soup is 15 grams. Here we've got 24 grams of carbs minus 6, so we're at 18 grams per cup. You could have just a little bit less than a cup for your snack, and that's quite a filling snack as well. A couple other things I like to make with these ingredients are I really like doing scrambled eggs with avocado and a sprinkle of salt on top. I will do cucumber tuna cups using the safe tuna for pregnancy, as well as you can do avocado deviled eggs, which are delicious. You can use leftover chicken or meat and seasoning and do lettuce wrap fajitas or tacos. So those are a few of the examples, but if you go down to the description box, I have a whole list of snack ideas and the recipes and the meal plan that you can go grab below. I would love to know what looks good to you here, or what are some of your favorite snacks for your gestational diabetes. Please share it with me and our community below. Go down, check out what other people are writing. And if you have any other questions about your gestational diabetes, I also have a free Facebook gestational diabetes support group. So I will make sure to put the link to that in the comments below as well. If you found this video helpful and you enjoyed some of the ideas, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell notification, and share with some other moms who have gestational diabetes, and so that I can help them as well. Thank you so much for watching. I really love being with you guys here every Wednesday when I put out a new video, and I will see you next week. Bye.